यदि आप हमारे चैनल पर नए हैं तो चैनल को लाइक, सब्सक्राइब जरूर करें ताकि सबसे पहले नए वीडियो पोस्ट की जानकारी, बेल नोटिफिकेशन आपको मिल सके। आइए वीडियो देखना शुरू करते हैं।
A very good morning and blissful greetings to respected Snigdha ma'am, Astha ma'am, all the parents, dear children and my colleagues present over here. I'm very thankful to God Almighty and to Principal ma'am for giving me this opportunity for addressing you all on a very special, very important topic that we might be talking about in our homes. As partners, we might be talking about it with each other. Maybe we might be talking about it with our other parents that we know of. We want to talk about this topic to the teachers also. So here we have gathered together today to address just one topic, the center of our lives, center of your lives, center of our lives, our children. And I'm thankful to all of you. You've taken your time out, your valuable time. You've come to school this morning. You are seated here, listening very carefully. So I'm really thankful to all.
The child is not able to do what other children of his or her own age are doing, then the child will develop shame and doubt. So, as parents and as teachers, we should never reinforce that doubt through obviously our comments, our gestures and our language. Next is where our students are at. Initiative. Okay. Then comes the microphone.
I think it will be a little more easier for us to understand our children. It will be a little more easier for us to understand our association. It will be easier for us to understand that the role a school can play in the development of your children, our daughters, and how can we partner together, as Astha ma'am said, how can we partner together in the wellness, the holistic development, the happiness. There's nothing better than a happy child for the happiness of our children. Queen Mary School North End brings to you an informative talk on the topic, the zone of proximal development. As we go on with the session, you'll be able to understand what is the zone of proximal development. If any of you are teachers, any of you are from the field of psychology, you might be already knowing this term. So as we move on with the talk, you'll be able to understand. Next slide, please, ma'am. Yes. So the Holy Bible says in Psalms 127 verse 3, children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from Him. You understand that children are a heritage from the Lord. They are a reward from the Lord. And Lord has entrusted us with the responsibility of taking care of, these innocent children who know nothing. They know everything through you and I. And that is why it is important for us to pay all of our attention, all of our energies, the best of our potential on our children. So this is the point from where we start, that God has entrusted us with the responsibility for the happiness and for the holistic development of our children. We are going to talk about the wonder years. As we all know, as a very, very famous psychologist, Sigmund Freud, Dr. Sigmund Freud has said that the person that we become depends upon our early childhood years. Whatever you are, whatever your personality is, the way you experience your emotions, the way you think, the way you understand relations with other people is all dependent. The root of it, the core of it, lies in our childhood experiences. And you and I can shape, can influence those childhood years. So over here, I'm going to take you through 4 types of development. They are the major type of development. First is the cognitive development. When we talk about cognitive development, we talk about the mind. We talk about the processing of information, the perceiving of information, problem solving, understanding, everything related to knowledge. Next, we talk about psychosocial development, psychological and social development. How does a child interact in the social environment? And what happens in the social environment at different stages of life that influences the mental health of our child? How does our child internalize or experience, understand, or our child is influenced by whatever happens in the social setting? Next is social development. All of us are agents of social development for our children. We are socializing agents for our children. Teachers, friends, and parents, neighbors, everyone that the child comes in contact with. Very, very important, the grandparents also. They are agents of socialization. Through them, the child observes and understands that how the child needs to interact in a social environment. And the last is moral development. As you all might be able to understand, I think you all have had a 2-year association with the school and hopefully a very, very long association to come in the future. You might be able to understand that the school places a special emphasis on positive emotions, on morals, on values. So we are going to be talking about moral development. First one, cognitive development. The theory is given by Jean Piaget, again a very, very famous psychologist who worked in the field of cognitive development of children. He gave 4 stages of cognitive development based on different age ranges. The age range that our child belongs to is 2 to 7. It is called pre-operational stage. The major hallmark or the major feature, the major characteristic that develops in this stage is the emergence of language. Emergence of language. And you might be observing that your child has started to talk more, started to use more vocabulary, started to use terms that the child was never using before. The child is becoming expressive now. Earlier on, you had to ask the child, "Beta kya hua? Beta school kaisa tha?" अब बेटा घर आके अपने आप ही बता देते हैं that mama, I did this in the school. Mama, I did this activity in the school. So language is developing. Now we'll go through some major characteristics pertaining to this particular stage. Begin to think symbolically and learn to use words and pictures to represent objects. Our children are not only using language in the verbal form, they are also using language in a more symbolic forms. Now they are able to understand symbols, they are able to associate those symbols with the concept that goes behind it. Tend to be egocentric and struggle to see things from the perspective of others. This might be a little challenge. They are egocentric. Everything is around me, my mama, my papa, my teachers. Even the teachers might, observe that the children are very, very attached to them. The children become very attached to someone. They are not able to understand someone else's perspective. They are able to understand their perspective. That is why it is important for us to be very, very sensitive to them. The next thing is getting better with language and thinking, but still tend to think in very concrete terms. What do we mean by concrete terms? All of us are able to think in a very abstract terms. We're also able to think about the things that do not exist, the things that are going to happen. We all plan about our future, the future of our child. We are also able to think about our future, but the child is not able to think about the future. The child is present only in here and now. Will I get a chocolate cake now? Will I get a nap now? The child cannot think about what will happen if I don't study, what will happen if I don't complete my worksheet. The child is not able to process that sort of information. Why is it important for us to know all of this? So that we can be more vigilant, we can guide our children, and we can know that our child is not being reluctant. This is the mindset of the child, this is the stage of cognitive development of the child right now. And when the child grows more in age, the child will eventually overcome all of this like all of us have. Next we talk about psychosocial development. The theory is given by Erik Erikson. Next slide please. Thank you. Yes, so these are some of the stages, very, very critical, and it is related to the things that the children experience in their school and at their homes. First one, we start with infancy. Trust versus mistrust. Our children have gone past this age now, but if the parents are very caring, very nurturing, the child will develop trust. This element of trust will stay in the child for a lifetime. Then, early childhood. Autonomy versus shame. If the child is able to do their task by themselves, if the child is able to walk, if the child is able to manage his or her own body, if the child is able to, you see there's a pot made over there. That is the stage when we toilet train the child. If the child is successfully able to do that, then the child will develop autonomy. The child will have a feeling that if I am taught something, then I am capable of doing it. I am capable of acquiring that skill. Interaction between the neighbors and the family. Interaction between the friends of the child and the parents. That is where the child has a feeling that, everything is going on fine, everything is aligned. If the parents have the same motivation, same set of values as the school has, it will be aligned. Yes, child has no confusion. जो मैं स्कूल में सीखती हूँ, वो ही मेरे घर पे बोला जाता है. No confusion. Yes, one direction in life. Whatever my parents say, the same things my friends also support. No confusion, no conflict. In this manner, we'll be able to lead the child in one direction. The child will be single-minded. There will be no confusion. Next slide, please, ma'am. Yes. The last one is moral development by Goldberg. Morality is the differentiation of intention, decision, and action between those that are distinguished as proper and those as improper. What are morals? We decide what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad. And who teaches these morals to the children? Parents, grandparents. Very, very important. Anchor of the family. Yes? So, grandparents and parents and teachers. So, not just verbally, we are not just teaching them morals verbally. That, you should not steal. You should not say a lie. We are also teaching them those morals through our body language, through the way we talk to each other, the way we address each other as parents, the way we address the teachers. Everything that we learned in the Yuri Bronfman-Breller theory of social development. Good morning, ma'am. So those are morals. We don't teach our children morals only verbally. We teach them morals non-verbally. And our children are very, very observant. They are very observant. You might feel that the child is playing there silently, not observing what we are doing, what we are talking about. The child is observing. The child is internalizing all of those things, all of those words, all of those. The child might not be able to understand what language you are talking in. The child might not be able to understand what words you are saying. The child might be able to sense the emotion. The child might be able to sense the emotion of positivity, even the negative emotions the child is able to sense. Next slide, please, ma'am. Yes, these are the 3 stages given by Goldberg, subdivided into 6 stages. Our children are at the pre-conventional stage. So, what is their motivation of following morals in life? First one, avoiding punishment. I don't want to be punished for this. I don't want to not go to the mall in the weekend. So, let me just behave in a very proper and disciplined manner the way my teachers and my parents are saying. I don't want to be scolded. That is the key motivation for a child to be following morals, avoiding punishment. The next one is self-interest. What could be self-interest? A positive reinforcement. I am doing this because I will get a Barbie doll set. I am doing this because I will get a new electronic motor car. I am doing this because I will get appreciation from my parents. I am doing this because my teacher will give me a star sticker on the hand when I complete my worksheet. So that is the next stage, and I think this is where our children are right now. Next one is good boy or good girl attitude. The child wants us to say that you are a good girl. The child wants our affirmation. The child wants our approval. Even all of us as adults need approval. All of us seek approval. So why would not a small child seek approval? And the child would only seek approval from the parents, from the teachers, from the friends also maybe. So our child wants us to say that you are a good girl, you are doing good, you are looking very pretty today. And that gives a sort of encouragement to the child, that reinforces the child to behave in a desirable manner. Next is law, order and morality. This is where our children will reach. After some time of schooling, they'll be able to understand that what are the rules of the school, what are the rules of the society, what are the rules laid down by the government, and then they will behave accordingly. Their moral motivation, their moral behavior will be led by what is accepted in a society, socially accepted behavior, socially approved behavior, and what is accepted by the government. Next is social contract. Social contract means that the children are doing what the society expects them to do. If I'll do this, then I'll be saved from the fine. If I do not skip the red light, I will not have to pay a fine. If I pay my bills on time, I will not have to pay some extra money. That is what all of us follow. And the last level is principle. This is a level of very higher order thinking. This is where the child becomes aware about himself or herself. The child follows his or her own principles and is not influenced by anyone around them. This is what all of us do. We have our own set of principles. And even if someone says that, this is not right, we will still go ahead and do that. Because we feel that it is right. Because we were taught by our parents that doing that thing is right. We were taught in our religious scriptures that doing that thing is right. We were taught in our school that doing that particular thing was right. And we have now internalized our morals. They have now become inbuilt in us. Nobody needs to tell me. I don't have to stop and think that should I do this? Should I do that? Will someone approve of me doing this? Will someone call me a good girl? No. I just go ahead with my intuition. I just go ahead with the small voice that comes from inside of me. That is God's voice. That is the voice of your conscience. So that is where we need to take our children as they grow up. Next slide, please. Yes. Now that we have understood our children to some extent, these are all of the things that you might have observed in your children. These are all of the things that you might have talked about with each other. So now that we have understood our child to some degree, let's say 60%, 50%, all of you also observe your children every day, so we have just increased our knowledge right now. Now let us talk about where the problem is. Because this is life and there are certain problems that we as parents might be facing. There might be certain problems that our children might be facing and we might not be able to observe those. So I'll just talk about a few problems. As parents, you are better judge and you are better able to understand what might be the problems of your children. The first is isolation. Our children are not going out, not interacting with anyone, not opening up to anyone. This was a problem during the pandemic. This was a problem when the children were taking online classes because the child was there in a closed area, only interacting with mother, father, or maybe a sibling or neighborhood friends. The next is increased screen time. 5 years, had I been giving this talk, 5 years, before 5 years, right? So I would have been saying that increased screen time is the problem of an adolescent. Increased screen time is the problem faced by an adolescent, by a teenager. But right now, this is a problem faced by all of the children. Why? Because we as parents are sometimes busy and the only source of entertainment then becomes the YouTube. Masha ki kahaniyan. Yes? That becomes the only source of entertainment. So now our children are so attached with the mobile phone, so attached with the YouTube that that is what gives them satisfaction, that is what gives them gratification. And now we are struggling to separate them from the mobile phone. Next is boredom, again combined with isolation. If I am isolated, I don't have anything to do. I do not have the motivation to do anything. Maybe my energy levels are very much, All of our children are very, very high on energy. They are very curious about everything. If you do not provide them with, variety of things to do, and you do not occupy their day, fill their day with activities, then they might feel bored. They might feel that, they might feel lethargic. They might feel that I don't have anything to do. They don't understand their purpose of life. Maybe they don't even understand the concept of relaxation that all of us understand. We all need our relaxation time. They don't need that. They have very, very higher energy. So they continuously need things to do. And this becomes a very, very good opportunity for us to explore the interest area of our child. Next slide. Next is lack of physical activity combined with the increased screen time. Obviously, if the screen time will be more, my child will not be motivated to go out and play. Yes, go out and play with the neighbors, go out and do some sort of physical activity, maybe do yoga. I know parents who have enrolled their children into activities such as meditation, yoga, gymnastics. So these are all the upcoming fields right now. So we need to involve our child in some sort of physical activity in a day. It might be anything. It might be Zumba, it might be just simple dancing. It might be just walking in the park, running, playing with the football. anything, because our children need that. They need some level of physical activity to grow. Yes? Next is lack of social interaction, as we have talked about, that they are not able to interact with as many children of their own age as they could have. And then over here, school becomes a very, very good and safe environment where the child can come and interact with children of her own age. And you and I might be able to do a lot of things, may be able to contribute a lot in our child's life. But the role that the child of the same age, the role that a peer or a friend has to play in a child's life, we cannot fulfill that. That needs to be fulfilled by the friends. So, coming to school, forming friendships, maybe forming friendship with cousins also, we should encourage our children to do that. Next is lack of purpose. Child doesn't know what to do. What is my purpose in life? Am I just supposed to go to school, complete my homework, come back home, eat and sleep? Is that my purpose? I guess all of us are still finding our purpose in life. Obviously, you are parents and you do have a purpose now to nurture your child. You do have a occupational purpose also in your life. But what is my individual purpose in life? Till my class 8th, I was not able to understand why am I going to school? Why am I getting educated? Why do I need to get good marks? I was not able to understand. And this is not somebody else's experience, this is my own experience. As a student, I was not able to understand the concept of schooling, the concept of education. The only thing I was able to understand, if you get educated, you will have a good life, you will earn good money, you will live comfortably, you will make your parents proud. That is it. Is it the same for me now? No. I'm a more intelligent person, I'm a more aware person, I'm a more fulfilled person, I'm a more functional person now with education. I can stand here and talk to you. Why? Because of education. So that is not just meeting my needs of getting a salary, of earning a living. No, it's doing a lot to me. It's developing me entirely as a beautiful human being. So we need to provide our child with that purpose. The purpose might be unique for every child. We cannot copy paste the same concept to every child. Whatever the purpose of my life is, might not be the purpose of my child's life. Might not be the purpose of my other child's life also. Yes, some of us have 2-3 children. Yes, blessed with 2-3 children. So we need to guide them, only guide them, facilitate them in understanding their purpose of life, and slowly and gradually. Suddenly the child will not come up and say that I want to become a doctor. I also wanted to become an IAS officer. But I'm happy wherever I am. Yes, and maybe I was very ambitious in saying that I wanted to become an IAS officer. Maybe I would have not been happy there. Yes, okay. Next slide. We've talked about our children. We've talked about the challenges. And no talk is complete without talking about the solution. And the solution is present in this room. The solution is you and I, the teachers and the parents, the institution, the values of the institution, the programs of the institution. That is what is going to bridge the gap of the challenges that my child is facing, might face in the future, and the solution of those problems. Here is the time when we talk about the main theme, that is the zone of proximal development. This concept was given by Lev Vygotsky. This concept is very useful in the field of education, and a lot of approaches and principles in the field of education have been based on this particular theory. The zone of proximal development is defined as the space between what a learner can do without assistance and what a learner can do with adult guidance or in collaboration with more capable people. Let me explain it to you with the help of an example. Next slide, please, ma'am. Look at this image. Just look at this image, observe this image. Okay. What is happening? The family is there at the beach side. Yes? There is one child who is sitting in the shallow area. The child can do this by himself. Then there's another girl who is swimming in a more deep area with the help of the parents, and then there are some swimming equipments also. And the third area is the more deeper area of the water body, and the child is swimming. You will be able to observe the difference in age group. The first two children are of the same age group, and the third child who is swimming by himself is an older child. By this we are able to understand that the center is what I can do on my own, what the child can do on her own, by herself or by himself. The child is capable of doing some task by himself or herself, that is sitting in the shallow area. Next is what I can do with the help of more knowledgeable other. Who is a more knowledgeable other? Parents are more knowledgeable others. Teachers are more knowledgeable others. Maybe a sister, a older brother. Anyone who knows about that particular skill, that particular task better than what I know, better than what the child knows, becomes a more knowledgeable other. And with the guidance of the more knowledgeable other, I'll be able to perform the task that I was not able to do on my own. And this is where the role of the teachers and parents come in. And we will gradually take our child through all of the years of development by doing this, by following the principle of zone of proximal development. My child was not able to walk by herself. I held my child's hand and I helped her walk. That is the zone of proximal development. My child is not able to color inside a line or a border that is given. Yes? What will I do? I will guide my child. I will tell her, draw a border line over here with your crayon and then color inside it. I will hold her hand and help her in doing what she is not able to do on her own. And last becomes what I can't do. Is there something that I cannot do? Is there something that I cannot do? Is there something that your child cannot do? No. There is nothing that your child cannot do. That is age specific. I cannot do it right now, but when I'll be older, I'll be able to do it. I cannot swim in deep water right now, but when I'll be older and I will know how to swim, then maybe even one day I'll be able to surf on the waves. Yes? Now our collective goal becomes the holistic well-being of our child. What is holistic development? A state of complete physical, mental and social emotional well-being. Not only the mental well-being of my child, emotional well-being of my child, social well-being of my child. That becomes my goal, and that becomes the goal of the entire institution, of the entire parent-teacher association. How will we fulfill that? I have only given 5 roles each of what a teacher can do in a class and how parents can complement that at home. We will try to understand them in a parallel manner. First is, the purple one is the role of the teacher, the red one is the role of the parents. And we will see how can these complement each other. Facilitating students' well-being. The parents' role, observing children holistically. In the school, I am giving my 100% in facilitating the students' well-being, the physical, mental, emotional, social. What is the role of the parent? When the child comes back home, I am observing the child. I am observing is all of that being taken care of, and if there is any gap, I am filling that gap. I am reinforcing what the teacher has said in the school. I'm telling my child that yes, beta, whatever your teacher has said is right. Whatever activity or whatever thing that your teacher is taking you through is good for your development. Next is observing and guiding each student, not the class as a single unit. Every single child. And we ensure this in our school, and especially at the primary level, that every single child has a relation with the teacher. The teacher knows every child, and the child is able to openly communicate with the teacher. The complementing task of the parents, continuous academic and non-academic guidance. So if we are guiding the child in school, we also need you to guide the child at home, in both academic and non-academic sphere. Next is providing safe environment, not just in terms of physical safety, not just in terms of structural safety. Safety in the terms where the child is able to express herself, where the child is able to explore the environment. The child feels at home in her school and in her classroom. What can the parents do? Providing environment for open communication. You are making a relation with your child so that the child can communicate everything with you. Whenever the child comes back home, you're asking, dear, how was your day? What did you learn in school? How did you feel in school? Sometimes we miss on the feeling component. We also always keep on talking about the thinking component. What did you learn? What is there to learn? What is the worksheet that you need to do? We are never talking about the feeling component. How did you feel in school? Did you feel happy? How was your lunchtime with your friends? So we also need to take care of the feeling component. Then, providing opportunities for exploration. When we take you through the next presentation, you'll be able to understand that we are giving all the opportunities that we are able to understand to the child for exploration. Because these are the wonder years. My child is able to absorb so much information in these years. So I need to give that sort of environment to my child to be able to explore each and everything. Explore music, explore dance, explore writing, explore coming up on the stage and addressing the audience. Explore mathematics, all of the subjects. Explore project making, explore art, exploring sports. So we as the school and you as the parents need to give all the opportunity. All the cards should be open in front of the child to choose. The role by the parents, providing opportunities for expression of learning. What is expression of learning? My child is able to express whatever she has learned in the school. My child has a sort of relationship with me that my child is able to tell, Mama, I really enjoy doing art. Papa, today I made this portrait of you, no matter how it might look. Yes, so we need to have that sort of open relationship with our child. Inculcating positive emotions in the students. That is the role of the school. Reinforcing, inculcating, introducing the children to think in a positive direction. There is a lot of negativity in the world. And all of you know, when someone asks us, how are you? We say we are all right. But back in our mind, we are thinking about all our problems. And it psychologically proven that human beings tend to think about negative more than the positive. We always focus on the negative. Everything might be going all right. My career is all right. My relationship with my family is all right. You know, everything is 100%. And I'll be troubled about that one thing. I did not get an upgrade on my mediclaim this time. That is my one problem in life. Because we are always centered around the negative. So we are not providing the student with any negative emotion as of now, because that will eventually happen when the child experiences life. Yes? We are providing the child with positive emotions so that the class is so full with positivity that there is no room for negative. And the role of the parents, reinforcing positive emotions in students, in children. Not just verbally, non-verbally. I'm not just telling my child, you need to be humble. I'm displaying it through my actions when I'm interacting with a third person. Yes? I'm displaying it through my life, through my actions, and not just with the interaction with my spouse, not just while interacting with my child, but even with, let's say, the house help.